you make it appears as though you're delivering it and you know as you write it. That man has embarrassed us internationally. It is not only that he has embarrassed us internationally, he has embarrassed us as a country locally among our people. Every single thing, and this is a very serious point, these people believe that the most important thing for Guyana is infrastructure. And that has always been the problem. And we are not saying that infrastructure is not good, but we remain on this point that the most valuable asset in any country would be the people, man. You can't be building big fancy roads, hotels, hospitals, but then the service to the people is bad. I am representing a young girl. They built a big fancy hospital. You want to hear the amount of billions of dollars for that hospital. Right in Diamond. And this young girl, for 22 years of age, was asthmatic. And so she had a problem breathing. She went into the hospital, and God, this is a hospital that was commissioned not even a month ago. There was no oxygen tank for the girl to use. They had another man lying next to her. That man was using the oxygen tank. Would you believe what in this day and age, mind you, they continue to say that we are the fastest growing economy in the world. And could you believe that we are losing our young people because they have lack of care, medical care in this country? They took off the oxygen tank from the man, and they attempted to put it on the girl. As soon as they put it on the girl, the man started to act up. They put it off back the girl, they put it on the man, but by the time they say no, they've got to take her to Georgetown. By the time she got to Georgetown, she was a dead girl. The family in Grove buried that young girl, and it was one of the saddest things for that entire community. Why? Because that young girl she took in and she was sick, better than that. Attacking language, you understand. You know when somebody says she had a worse condition in terms of her situation than that, and she came through. They said this was maybe just the lightest of them all. But just because of the lack of proper care in a newborn hospital, in a new commissioned hospital, she died. It was the family, my brothers and my fellow Guyanese. It was the brother of that young girl who contacted me today and said the pain came all over again. I said, what happened? He said somebody else died at another hospital. Same thing with oxygen. New hospital. And for the life of me, I don't understand why some Guyanese are not opening your eyes and seeing that it is not about building these 5-star hotels. You have to ensure that it is equipped and it's proper to serve you, or else you're dead. They're talking about roads, building roads. Some of the roads you can't even drive on properly. And that is a big achievement for them. I dare them to come and tell me about roads, because I'm going to say, you have a road, but where is Quinton Bacchus to walk on that road? Where is Oren Boston to walk on that road? Where is Adriana Young to walk on that road? You can't tell me that that is the most important thing in the country, building roads. The most important thing in the country, and I want you to hear me all over Guyana, is our lives, man. Our lives matters. Our lives matter. And if you continue to kill us, and if you continue to not put systems in place to solve the crimes when it happened, then you don't value life. You don't value life. Look at the police force. I know I have my friends over there, and all those police over there are going to agree with me. This is the worst state that this police force has found itself in the history of Guyana. The worst, a politicized force, a shameful leadership of the force. I already asked the man who leads this force now when they're going to get an update in terms of the investigation. You know what he said? He said he's, you see, my sister know the thing good. He's on GCOM. So there is no investigation continuing for Adriana Young until after elections. You know why? Because they are afraid that what will come out is going to damage the reputation of the PPPC. That is why they don't want that investigation to continue. But I tell you, you must think about your generation. And when you go and look at that ballot box, when you look at that ballot, you must see Adriana's young face and you must say, I will demonstrate to you once and for all, not another child in this country will die without a proper investigation. So she is on the ballot. She is on the ballot. We have two of the most disoriented, and I do apologize for how I describe them. I just traveled just a few days for their wedding in the United States, because they called me and they said in tears, the mother said, Dr. Todd, you have been there with us in one of the most saddest days of our life. I beg you to come with us, which I hope to be the most happiest day of our life. But it wasn't happy for them. It wasn't happy for them. We tried every single thing to make them smile and happy, and they could only smile for a minute and two. That father is so disoriented in his head. Every time he sits down and looks at his daughter's picture, he breaks out in tears. I put it on my Facebook. But you must understand that even parents, you must understand the pain, man. This thing is no joke. And what hurts them every single time is that they cannot get answers. Critics, as bad as he is, did a wonderful job in highlighting that pool. Listen, we big but we are stupid. We all saw that that pool was empty. The question is, if they're saying that girl drowned, we want to know where she drowned, and we want to know who removed her lifeless body and who placed her in the pool, because they have answers. All we know, she did not die in that pool, and we are clear on that. We spent money, brought in a Canadian investigator, and he came to Guyana, concluded an investigation in 4 days. I told him when I met with him and with the parents, I said, there is no way a one man can do this investigation. I said, you're going to have a difficulty in doing this investigation. He asked me why. I said, let me tell you something. You had the man in the highest chair in this country made premature statements in relation to that debt. You think they're going to pay you money to come in all the way from overseas and contradict and embarrass the president of this country? It will not happen. So when you come, the only thing you will have to do is to fit into their narrative. And I told them, I said, if you want, a lot of the evidence is using digital experience. So a digital forensic person has to come and talk about that and investigate that. The man said, he had no training. I said, have you ever investigated homicidal killing? The man said, what? What you talking about? I said, homicidal drum dead man. So, and then is when the man said, no, he never investigated that. I said, how is it that you were selected to be the person who is going to investigate this matter? But you know why? They did not want the truth to come out. They only wanted every person who will come and be a yes man. That can't be justice. You ask yourself the question, why is it important that you must remember that case? It's because when you see your grandchildren, when you see your children, when you see your nieces and your nephews, you must ask yourself, were this to happen to them, I would have wanted justice. I would have wanted a professional police force to investigate this matter. And I would have wanted a government to do all in their power to bring in the best experts. And you know why? You know why? Because there were so many allegations about this death. We couldn't believe when we were hearing that this in this day and age, the allegation is that this girl was sacrificed. And so we can't allow that. It's even though we don't have the evidence of that, we want an investigation to establish and to prove what it was. Mahaicony, I tell you, this election is a serious one. This is not an election to play with. This is an election to ensure that you remember what is at stake. The life of this country is at stake. You cannot allow the PPP to continue to cripple this country with corruption and incompetence at every single level. We present to you a part under the APNU which says clearly that we have presented a map. You see that manifesto? It is a map to take this country out of the state in which it's in, which is a mess. It's a mess at every single level. It's a mess. I want to talk about the respect too of your young people. Look at what they do. I have asked them, I have said to them clearly, if you can demonstrate to me that what you have been doing to our young people, arresting them, throwing them in the lockups for 72 hours, sometimes for the most smallest of crimes, soon as they talk or they express their views that they want justice, you arrest them, you charge them for terrorism, all because you want to make sure that they are silenced. That is what they're doing. If we live 5 more years under the PPP, you dare not even pass wind on the road, you're going to get charged. I'm telling you. Because every single thing they have demonstrated that they're going to shut us up. But we are going to demonstrate to them by this palm, September 1, that we will not be silenced. That we're saying that you have to respect the law, you have to respect our rights, and you have to respect the Constitution, man. You're the boss. And therefore, you have to vote like a boss. There is only one contender in this race that makes sense. One contender for president that makes sense. Do you know his name? Do you know his name? Shout his name. Shout his name, man. One contender. Aubrey Compton Norton. Unmatched. That is going to be a president that you're going to be proud of. How many of you want to see back the day when you truly just sit and listen? How many of you used to listen to Borno? And some of you are still playing anything. How many of you used to listen to Desmond Hoyt? Hey man, man, listen. So these are the people coming that want to out. And when we listen to our president coming the 2nd of September 2025, Guyana will once again rejoice. Rejoice. How many of you remember? How many of you remember when David Granger took office? How many of you remember looking at the flag raising ceremony? How many of you remember the level of patriotism and how proud you felt? All of that went 2020. All of that went. Can nobody respect them? Because they only have one objective, and that is the thief. That is the thief. Full their pockets. When they come out, September 1, they're not going to be rowing and fretting. They got enough money to last them for generations. Enough money. But they're trying, you know, when you see a guy enough money, you're trying to hold on to power. You're trying to hold on to power. So all those $100,000, somebody called me, all the way from the UK, flashed the picture. Her sister received yesterday $100,000 with a red jersey. I say collect the money. Our leader tell us collect the money. Collect the money is your money. But come September 1, you have to vote for the palm. You have to palm them out. You have to vote them out. You can't mistake at all. Twice you're going to see the palm. You're going to see it one time at the top, and you're going to see it one time at the bottom. And so you're looking for nothing else. Soon as you see the palm, you're putting your X right there. And when you are walking out of the polling station, you are squaring your shoulder and you are going to feel good about yourself because you have aided in developing and, of course, rescuing Guyana from these thieving cabals. Mahaicony, I want to say to you, finally, this elections here requires you to not only think about yourself, but this is time for you to mobilize. This is time for you to become our army, members of this army, this mighty army called APNU. And you have to take this message to every young person, even on the streets, even in the marketplaces, even in the buses, even in the schools, even at workplaces. You have to send that message. Arm yourself with a manifesto. Read the manifesto and tell them that the plans of the APNU is going to lift you out of poverty. You and I have work to do, and that work we must not fail, because come September 2nd, we are going to be rejoicing with a new government under the APNU. So, Granny, for Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. And and how we're going to get them out? We're going to get them out with our vote. And how are we voting? We are voting the pan. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. Have a good night, and God bless you.
All right, Mahaicony, let's make some more noise for Dr. Todd. It's a lot of food for thought. And remember, again, I ain't hearing you guys saying this thing out loud. For Guyana to grow, what gotta happen? The PPP must go, and they must go quick, all right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know that many of you came here tonight to hear him speak. But before, we must recognize that the next president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana is here with us. Let's make welcome our leader, not to the podium just yet, but just his presence here with us tonight. We're happy to have him here. Now, the task I'm up here for is to introduce to you the next speaker. You know him, we all know him very well. He has been our Member of Parliament representing Region 5 for the last 5 years, from 2020 to when Parliament was dissolved a few weeks ago. He is a preacher, he is a father and a husband, and he is slated to become the next Minister of Agriculture. I thought you'd have been more excited about this. He's no stranger to Mahaicony because he has family here, and if possible, piece of his navel string probably buried in Mahaicony. I'm speaking about no other than the most honorable man for the job, MP Vince Roy Jordan. Make some noise, Mahaicony. Come on, man.
Mahaicony, good evening. Good evening, Mahaicony. I'm happy to be home. Trevon said piece of my navel string took here. And when I'm in Mahaicony, I'm home. Because right up Sun City Street is where I belong. So when you hear about Dennis John, You know that at the home. Denise didn't hear me tonight. I got to talk more loud so she can hear me. When you hear about the samples in Mahaicony, you know at the home. When you hear about the shepherds in Mahaicony, you know at the home. But Mahaicony, tonight I want to leave a very short message with you. And that message is that you must vote for the APNU. I want to say to you, as friends and family, I want you to vote for the APNU. Mahaicony, these are serious times. We are at a crossroad where we must make the decision to determine what our future will look like. We have an opportunity to right the wrong. We have an opportunity to get rid of this wicked cabal. And I say to you tonight, Mahaicony, that once we vote and vote right on the 1st of September, we will get rid of this People's Progressive Party Civic. This government starved Mahaicony of the needed resources. This government operated as though nobody lives in Zeskinderen. They operate as though nobody dwells in Central and Farm and Mary. And they pass these communities and they go to the Hoop Branch Road. They go to Novar and Dundee. But now when they need your votes, you suddenly see them swinging around, turning and twisting and coming asking you for votes. But I want to say this to you tonight, Mahaicony. You have the chance now to say to them, if you are not important to them 4 years ago, you cannot or should not be important to them now. Because they had 4 years to build streets. They had 4 years to improve the water system. They had 4 years to look at electricity. They had 4 years to do extension. They had 4 years to do drainage and irrigation. But you know what? They neglected you over the 4 years. I remember just early, but rather late last year, suddenly, Ministry of Public Works know that we have a number of streets in Mahaicony that has to be done. All of a sudden, Edgel and all the boys, every single street on the list, and they suddenly started to build streets all over the place. Now, if they didn't do it the last 4 years, or rather 5 years, why is it that they're coming now to build? When we submitted to them through the NDC, all these streets in 2021 and 2022, they took them off the list. And they went to places that they felt were more important, and they built street there. I am saying to you tonight, Mahaicony, that when they come to ask you for your votes, tell them to go back where they were in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. Don't come now to ask for your votes. Only recently they built this hospital, well, they opened, commissioned this hospital in Bath Settlement that they claim. We know it's nasty, guy, but they call it Bath. But we understand they don't know geography. But that is not the problem tonight. The problem is that they built what they said a state-of-the-art hospital. But the very state-of-the-art hospital didn't have the necessary equipment, medication, and all sorts of things that they needed. So they came to Mahaicony Cottage Hospital, removed the equipment, removed the medication, removed the doctors, removed the nurses, and they took them to Bath, as they say, hospital. That is a sign, Mahaicony, that they don't care about you. This government is incompetent. If you know that you're building such an hospital, you had to make provision for the equipment, you had to make provision for the staff, you had to make provision for the medical personnel to properly equip the hospital. But they did none of that. I am saying to you, Mahaicony, that the coalition government will not close down this Mahaicony Cottage Hospital. It is here to stay. We will expand and develop this hospital so that you, the people on this side of Region 5, could benefit from this hospital. And so, like this government is trying to do to close down this hospital, we will keep it open. As a matter of fact, we will modernize and we will continue to do what we left off in 2020. I am saying to you tonight that the hospital that they built at Nasty Guide, they opened the hospital. A number of persons went there. Persons were sick. Some had to do emergency surgeries. Some had to do C-section and so on to do delivery. Not one person could have been operated on at that hospital. 3 functioning theaters, and the people who are going there still got to be transferred to New Amsterdam and Georgetown. I am saying to you, Mahaicony, that we will properly staff the regional hospital here in Region 5. But more than that, I intend to let you know very early that we will rename that hospital because it belongs to all the people of Region 5. And we're not going to name it with a village that is assigned, or a village that people know is supportive of one political party. But rather we will name that hospital the Dr. Ivla Sinclair Regional Hospital, because he would have served this region and many other regions with distinction. And so to honor a man who would have served us as a doctor in this region for over 30 years, we are going to rename the hospital in honor of Dr. Sinclair. They built the hospital and went to bad settlement and tell the people that we are building an hospital for you. This is how wicked this government is. If you're building a regional hospital, how could you go to one set of people and say to them the hospital belongs to them? That is nonsense. It belongs to all the people of Region 5. They brought over 30 Bangladeshi nurses to work at that hospital. The nurses are working for $200,000 and more. I am saying to you that we will ensure that our nurses are trained, and we will ensure that more people are trained, and we will pay them enough that the same nurses that came or even more than what they are being paid, because we will not allow foreigners to come into our land and have more than what our people are having. And so the coalition government intends to increase the wages and salaries of our public servants by 35% when we take office. We also intend to increase the minimum wage. So our sweeteners, our constables, our police officers, you will no longer work for less than $200,000 come the 1st of September when you vote for an APNU government. You know, the hospital, I learned that the people they put in charge, there was a certain man who was identified to run the hospital as the CEO. But because the boys and girls in this region, they are so incompetent, they don't know what to do. When the man begins to tell them about how such a health facility should be run, they decide to talk to the man anyhow. I learned that one man took up the office of the CEO even before the real CEO came. And because he's the friend of the Minister of Health, he got the job. But I am saying to you that we have competent doctors, even right here in Mahaicony. I have great pride, I have great respect, and I have great support for one of our doctors. She hails from Mahaicony. I am saying to you, Mahaicony, that we have competent people, and when we return to government, we will put competent people in places to run that hospital. Mahaicony, I want to bring to your attention, this government is so wicked. Just yesterday, they commissioned, yes, it was yesterday, 2 nursery schools. One at number 8 and one at Hope Town. Let me give some history first. We talk from since 2020, the first budget of the PPP, because we had the proposal at the Regional Democratic Council of Region 5 when we left office, because we couldn't get another budget in 2019. We had the plans to build a nursery school in number 8. We talked for 4 years, them in build none, but suddenly to the end of the term, they know that they got to build a school in number 8. And prayer flunks around the whole country. Satira girl talking how she built so much nursery schools and she built so much secondary schools, and the coalition built no school. But we know here in Mahaicony that the People's Progressive Party Civic did nothing for Mahaicony. When we took government, the first time Port got a brand new school is under the coalition government. We built the Port Nursery School, and you know that. So I say to Priya, go and check the records, because we built the school in Mahaicony. We rehabilitated almost all the schools during our time in office. The next health minister said that we never even built an health center. When you drive down the road at High Dam, you will know that we built that health center under the coalition government. But let me get back to the school. I preach like Paul in the National Assembly. They may build no school. But suddenly, they build school. But the problem I have with the school is that on the school to the front, party paramountcy takes place. So they build the school and they paint the school red, yellow or gold, black, and they put in piece of air fan color blue. But I am saying to you, my friends, I know it is not the people in Region 5. I know it is Priya Manichan and the wicked People's Progressive Party Civic. How dare them paint our nursery school in the colors of the PPP flag? And I'm saying to Priya from tonight that when we take office in September, we will repaint the number 8 and the Hope Town Nursery School in the color that it is supposed to be painted in. No party paramountcy will take place in our schools. Right next to the Hope Town Nursery School is the Hope Town Primary. The school is painted in cream, as a matter of fact, the government buildings. But here is this wicked PPP government. Come to the region, build 2 schools, and paint them in the PPP colors. Check social media, and you will see. And so we will right that wrong, because our children must not come up in a school painted in party. Why they didn't put pink? Why they didn't put purple? Why they didn't put another color? Or why they didn't put green? But you could put red, yellow, and black. We will put an end to it, Mahaicony. I am saying to you, Mahaicony, this coalition that you will vote for, the APNU, we will ensure that our school children continue to receive the grant. But the grant will not be $50,000. It will be $120,000 per year, because we have the resources and the country could afford it. And so Aubrey, Compton, Norton, and Jurita Financial, we will pay $120,000. Once in January, $60,000, And then in June, another $60,000. That is how you put the people first. And I'm saying to you again, just the other day, we learned that there were some 10-day workers who wanted to work with us on a day. And then there are some other persons who wanted to work. And one person was spotted at the APNU public meeting. And they are threatening them to fire them. I am saying to you that we will not only continue the 10-day workers program, but we will also increase the stipends of the 10-day workers. So hold fast. They come to tell you Aubrey Norton will stop it. It is a lie from the pit of hell. Aubrey Norton has already declared, our next president has already declared that he will not only continue, but we will train them, we will upskill them, we will retool them, and we will put them into the traditional public service so that they can work and earn a livable income. That is how we intend to put our people first. I am saying to you, Mahaicony, that we must vote for the coalition. I am saying to you that you must not mix your vote up. You must not split your vote, because any vote other than a vote for the APNU is a vote for the PPP. Now let me tell you, some people believe that this boy Azreddin is some pharaoh or somebody who come believing that people believe or would think that he is Jesus Christ. But hear me tonight when I say, Mahaicony, the same man that is saying that he wants to stop corruption, it is the same man who was the chief corruption officer in Guyana. When a man could lie down in his bed and text a fan and ask you for pass the Lamborghini for just a couple million, you must know that that man got links to the biggest corrupt. Let me leave it alone. But this man cannot be trusted. We cannot put our votes for Mohammed. And I am saying to you that it's the same as Azreddin. It is the same as Azreddin who was in the belly of the beast when they were killing our sons, when they were killing our daughters. And in order for us to stop them from killing our sons and daughters, we must vote the People's Progressive Party Civic out of office. I don't know how many of you would listen to the song How Many More, but I know that song from since I'm a child going to school. And every single time that song is played, it reminds me over and over again, how many more? And you begin to reflect on the people or those that would have died. But those particularly who are murdered by this wicked regime. And the song gives you goosebumps. It raises your skin just as if it was when the acts were committed. I am saying to you, Mahaicony, wise up. You know, some people walk about. I spoke to a few just a few days ago, and they say, when they're with the wind, they call it wind. And they say, but nobody never dead for them. But let me tell you something. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Let me tell you something. Today for me, tomorrow for you. Every cow does cry for your own calf. But Mahaicony, we don't want to cry again for any of our calves. And so we will put an end to it by voting APNU and put the People's Progressive Party Civic out of office. Let me make it very clear. Barrett Jack Dio doesn't care about you. Irfan Ali doesn't care about you. As a matter of fact, none of them in the PPP, they don't care about you. If they did care about you, when farmers were losing their crops, when farmers were losing their livestock, they would have come. But what they did is that they did come to Mahaicony, but they didn't stop here. They pass and go to the road down at the bottom. You know what I'm talking about. They bring in hampers upon hampers. They pass with black tank and they go down the road. But you right up the road, they don't have time with you. Must check it. They're going in the road and they're passing the people right up front. Today, as we speak, there are many in Mahaicony who never received flood relief yet. Since 2020, you ain't get it yet. There are many in Mahaicony still get a pink slip chuck under the bed. There are many in Mahaicony who never get a bag of fertilizer yet. There are many in Mahaicony who never get one black belly sheep. I am saying to you, Mahaicony, that in order for you to get these things, you must get rid of the People's Progressive Party Civic. This is a farming community. I have long said in Region 5 and in my budget speech that we will develop a national agricultural database, one that we can track every single farmer, whether you're a cash crop, livestock, whatever you might be, rice farmer. We can track you. We will know what you're farming and we will know what your needs are. We will decentralize agricultural services to every single region, every single neighborhood democratic council, so that our people can benefit from training and education and training, and they can benefit from the services of veterinary science, plant science, and animal science in total in your community. That is how we put the people first. We intend to ensure that every single region is self-sustaining. We intend to plant our own food. We will invest in small and medium-sized businesses and farmers. We will give you the grants so that you can start up, you can graduate to medium-size, and then you can graduate to a large-scale business man or farmer. We intend as the next government to take care of our people. Somebody said earlier, we have a lot of senior citizens. And I am saying to you tonight that when we take office, no longer will our senior citizens be receiving $41,000 a month. But our senior citizens will receive $100,000 as their pension. We want to let you know that your light bill will be subsidized the first $10,000 on your light bill. You don't have to pay. The government, the APNU government, led by Aubrey Compton Norton, will ensure that your light bill is subsidized and you will be able to keep that money in your pocket. So imagine every month you have $10,000 as subsidy that you can keep to do something else. Same is true for your water bill. The first $5,000, you will not have to pay a cent on your bill. And so, Mahaicony, I say to you, the APNU has a plan. I say to you, we have the best manifesto. I say to you, we have a manifesto that is realistic. Only today, I was checking on some videos that we recorded earlier from my budget presentation, and I realized that the People's Progressive Party Civic fell short woefully in the agriculture sector on the promises in their manifesto. And I say to you, you can find it online. Check page 13 of the PPP's 2020 manifesto, and you will see that over 5 points that they promised, they have not delivered on them. And so they are lying to you when they say that they completed their manifesto. One of them is that they said that they will revitalize Gaisuko. They will make Gaisuko self-sustaining. Now we know, you know, I know that Gaisuko today, it is the worst, one of the worst entities when it comes to production and when it comes to management. But I am saying that Gaisuko can do better. But it can only do better when we right the wrong of this incompetent government, and when we right the wrong of the square pegs in wrong holes, and we remove them from office. We replace Gaisuko with a competent board of directors, and we have a competent CEO that can manage that entity. They said that they will reopen the sugar estates, and if you check, they reopened one, the Rosal estate, and the very Rosal estate that they reopened, they spent over $10 billion invested in reopening the estate, and they have not yet having returned $1. Not $1. The more they spend, the more they lose. From 2020 to 2025, they spent over $40 billion on Gaisuko alone. They lost in return $23 billion. We understand that that is mismanagement. That is incompetence. And in order for us to better manage this country and Gaisuko, we must get rid of the People's Progressive Party Civic. They said they will open the Zeskinderen estate. They said they will reopen the East Demerara estate. To date, Zulfikar and his incompetent team, they have failed to reopen both Zeskinderen and East Demerara estates. I am saying to you that we will keep Gaisuko alive. We will retool, we will upskill, and we will diversify Gaisuko and its workers. We will ensure that what they used to do, that we will put other farming into it, we will put other skills into it, and we will ensure that Gaisuko has more than one source of production and income for that organization. And so, my friends, your hard-earned taxpayers' dollars will not have to be pumped into Gaisuko month after month and year after year. But we will use the monies that we will save when we bring back Gaisuko to the place where it has to be. And we will spend it on our public servants, we will spend it on health care, we will spend it on education, and we will spend it on drainage, irrigation, and other agricultural services. And so as I close tonight, Mahaicony, I want to say to you, your duty is, come the 1st of September, is to go to the polls very early. And I know this community is closely knitted. I know that you love each other. Well, I know every community, you got some people don't talk to some people and so, and thing. But hear me tonight. Even if you don't talk to your neighbor, I urge you, when you wake up election morning, call out for neighbor Shirley and say, neighbor Shirley, we got to go and vote for the APNU. And if neighbor Shirley don't want to answer you, call again. Make sure she go out and tell you when you're voting. If you want to stop talking to me after today, you can stop talking back. But the fact remains that you vote for the APNU. And so I encourage you, Mahaicony, get out early. Vote for the APNU, both at the top and at the bottom. Let your vote count. Let your vote be your voice. Use your power, and the power that you have is to put the X in the box, ink your finger, and make a statement that you care about yourself and you care about the betterment and development of Guyana. And so I say to you, vote APNU. Thank you, Mahaicony. God bless you.
Vote now, vote now, vote. Up to the permission. me, but me tired of waiting for miracle tree. Same old talk, same old scene, but me want clean money, not nothing mean. Me want build house, me want own land. Me tired of working with empty hand. So me start watching who really care, and I know was right there everywhere. Youth man take note, this not no joke. No party hat, no rum and smoke. This one serious time to vote. Your future calling.
It's the message, right? It's not a message we come for. We're gonna get the music later on. We're gonna party before we go. Thank you, MP Fitzroy. And you, from the way you've spoken tonight, you can tell surely he represents us well, and we know he's going to be a great minister. You agree? Mahaicony, you agree? Mahaicony, I have a question to ask you. Who you voting for on Monday? No, man. Y'all ain't sound like y'all know what y'all doing. Who you voting for on Monday? APNU. What you voting for? The palm of the hand, right? This is what it looks like. The palm of the hand is what it looks like. And that's where you gotta put your X in the box right next to the palm of the hand. And when you vote, who is gonna become president? Bobby Norton. That's the man that has the vision to move our country forward. And you know, he is the person that has done an amazing thing first with the People's National Congress reform to make the party back into a grassroots party, a party that connects with the people who really built the movement. He is the man who would have brought unity to the APNU. And right now, Mahaicony, you asked for this. Everywhere we walked around Mahaicony, everybody was saying, we're Norton, there, we're Norton. It's quite unusual for me to say Norton because I call him my leader. All right? So, but everybody was asking, when is he coming? Well, he's here. And he's not just here. He's going to be speaking to you, Mahaicony, and he will be speaking to you now. So I ask you to make welcome our leader, the next president. Now, if when you welcome the president, you can't sit down. The next president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Mr. Aubrey Compton Norton. Y'all gotta make more noise. Make more noise.
Good evening, Mahaicony. Good evening, Mahaicony. This evening, we are meeting here before one of the most important, if not the most important, elections in this country. These elections will determine whether you will come out of poverty or will remain in poverty. I submit that the People's Progressive Party approach is to ensure you stay in poverty. I recall that when the Granger administration left government, we were doing roads so that the people in this area can farm. The PPP came to power and abandoned those projects. We're saying to you that we believe there are enough resources in this country that can be utilized to promote agriculture and ensure that people in the communities develop. We're saying to you that you could look forward to a national livestock development plan so that those who are involved in livestock can develop. We will provide the support that is needed. Many of you might be old enough to remember that years ago we used to have agricultural assistants coming around and helping you in agriculture. We're saying to you, we are going to return agricultural assistance to the system to be able to help poor people who are involved in agriculture. We see it as critical. We believe that this government only interest is ensuring their families, their friends, and their favorites get rich. They are getting rich at the expense of the people. One of the hardest things to do is to identify one PPP minister who is not a thief. You can't find one. The minute you say PPP and minister is corruption. It is the most corrupt regime ever in the history of Guyana. The PPP steals billions of dollars. It is estimated that 40% of the present $1.4 trillion budget will go to waste or to corruption. We say to you, the APNU coalition will end the corruption. Corruption is a disease that destroys poor people. Every time they steal, every time they are involved in a corrupt activity, they are depriving you of resources that can go to your development. We said we're going to take the minimum wage to $200,000, and there will be, in other cases, a 35% increase in wages and salaries. And we say we can do it because without oil, we gave the Guyanese people 77% increase in wages and salaries. And so it's not a question of whether we can do it. We did it before without oil. And therefore, with oil, it will be easier. We have also said that we will pay pensioners $100,000 per month, because we believe they have served this society, and as they retire, they should be able to live a reasonably comfortable life. And so we have agreed that we will move it from $41,000 to $100,000 so that our senior citizens can enjoy a proper life. And we also intend to build new modern homes for our senior citizens. When you go to some of the things they call in senior citizen homes, you can cry. One man said to me, he hope he get old and got to go there. We need to change that. We're also saying to you that we will give every child, every person who goes to tertiary education, meaning above secondary school, $50,000 a month so that they can study. Because mere access to education without the resources to get to the university, to get to the technical institute, many people can't afford it. And so we will be giving that 50,000 to at least 50,000 young people so that they can improve their lives. We have said that we will have a $10,000 subsidy on electricity, meaning if your electricity bill is 10,000 and under, you pay not 1 cent. If it is over, you will pay the difference. We have also said that we are going to put a water subsidy of $5,000 per month. So once you're using $5,000 and below, you wouldn't pay for water. you pay for the difference. We have said we will give every child $120,000 as a cash transfer to the parents so that the children can go to school. And I make the plea everywhere I go that it is not for women and men to sport. It is not for the women to do the nails. It is for our children to be able to go to school. One of the ways that poor people can emancipate themselves and develop themselves is through education. And so we are committed to delivering so that our children can benefit. We also said this government has failed the people of Guyana. This government has failed the youth. About 16,000 children will do common entrance, or what is now called grade 6. And only about 5,000 of them will pass with 5 CXC with math and English. What that means is more than 10,000 of our children are failing to obtain the certificates they need to move on. In this regard, we are saying to you, we will establish night schools across the country so those who would have fallen out of school can return to school. Let us not fool ourselves. If we do not equip ourselves to get the jobs that will become available, you will remain in poverty. And so our intention is to ensure we give you skills. And those who don't have the relevant skills, we reskill them. And those who have skills, we upskill them so that they can be the quality person we need to develop this country. And then the bald-head rat Jack Dew. He has the temerity and audacity to ask where we are going to find the money to do all the things we say we are doing. Well, we could tell you how we can find it. We can stop you from thieving and cut waste. The reality is that the monies that are lost through corruption can finance every program we have mentioned. And we know that. We have a $1.4 trillion budget. Do you feel the impact of it? Does any one of you feel like part of $1.4 trillion going into your pocket? Well, we must say to Jack Dale, our intention is to put those resources in the pockets of the people. We intend to put people first, but we have to knock out the corruption so that the money is available for the development of the people. And that is why you will hear in this campaign, we are saying and committing to putting people first. We like our policemen and women. When we do development and increase salaries, they will benefit. But we must submit the present leadership of the Guyana Police Force, head by one thinking something, has failed this country. We have arrived at a point where if you have money, you can commit a crime and get the police to cover it. And when the average man, the ordinary man, is involved in the slightest irregularity, the police turns up with brute force and ignorance. We're saying this to you. They are decent policemen. The problem is the leadership. They have sold their souls politically. And so they have to do what their masters ask of them. We're going to change the leadership and we will ensure that the Guyana Police Force returns to being a force aimed at service and protection to the people of this country. Let us not fool ourselves. This government has to protect criminals because the government itself is implicated in criminality. Why you think Jagdeo end up stuttering and alling Sue? It is because the journalist caught him off guard and the name struck him like a punch from Muhammad Ali and he took a time to recover. Was this a decent country? Was this a law-abiding country? Jagdeo would have been before the courts in this country. And so we have to restore law and order. We have to restore decency to government. We promise you honest government. We're saying to you that we put together a team of qualified persons, young ones, experienced ones, people with the ability to govern this country. And so when you vote on September 1st, you must vote APNU because it has the most competent team in these elections. Every doctor that the PPP claim to have is a patient. You imagine Irfan is a doctor and can't say reparation, but rep. We are giving you quality. We are giving you people who we could find the university they went to. I can say proudly, I went to the University of Ghana, it could be found. I went to Kent of Canterbury in the United Kingdom. We can't find the university till now. People search the whole Eiffel and can't find it. And then telling you people you can trust. Who can trust the People's Progressive Party? I don't even think they trust themselves. In fact, I hear the two of them stop talking to each other for about 2 months. Well, let them fight. We're saying to you that Ghana has the resources to develop. We will utilize those resources to develop the people of Guyana. We cannot continue the road we are going down. This government is taking all our oil resources and putting it in construction, not because they like us, but because construction offers them the best opportunity for corruption. And so they're constructing road. By the time they finish, the road gone. They have some billboards across the country. Oh, we built 12 brand new hospitals. Well, today, at the hospital in Lima, on the Essequibo coast, somebody died because the hospital ain't got oxygen. In this modern era, you know full well that they are not interested in delivering medical services. A hospital is a building, but a building in itself is not a hospital. A building becomes a hospital when it has doctors, when it has nurses, when it has equipment, when it has the drugs. What they have done is put down buildings but cannot deliver medical services to the people of Guyana. We are saying to you, we are going to deliver quality medical service to the people of Guyana. Let me remind you that when we came to power in 2015, we met a situation where there were a lot of maternal deaths. We brought it down. The PPP returned and it's heading up again. We must not be fooled. They have no interest in the people of Guyana. Look at what they did in sports. A little imp named Charles Ranson destroy all the grounds across this country and telling you about the bills they spend on the ground. We're saying to our athletes this: you have ability, you arrive at the national level, you will be sponsored by the government. It is a shame to see our athletes begging with a piece of paper for money to travel and represent us. And then they have the pomposity and the audacity to turn up at the airport when they do well, but they did nothing for them before. We will change that. We will sponsor our athletes. We will ensure that our athletes get a living wage, because sport generally can put you on the map. Sport generally can help young people not be carried away by government giving a 20,000 here and a 30,000 here and a 10,000 here. We must pay attention. They come into villages and make some people feel nice by saying they're giving them contracts. But by the time the contract done, they ain't got nothing. But when they give PPP people contracts, if you could give an idiot like critics a $900 million contract, you're either wicked or an idiot like him. It should have been obvious to them that that is money going down the drain. If you can't run a proper TV program, you can build a pump. And so, let us understand what is happening in this country. Everything is done to keep people in poverty at a time when there are resources to take people out of poverty. We commit to you that we will use the resources from oil and gas to take the people of Guyana out of poverty. That is what we set out to do. When you vote for us on September 1st, you are voting for yourself. You are voting for your children. You are voting for your family. Because we said to you, we are the only movement in these elections that would have put out plans to rid the society of poverty. All and sundry at home and abroad read our manifesto and concluded that we have the best manifesto. And there is no doubt about that. Every sector is covered in our manifesto. And our manifesto didn't come from the skies. It came from us in the APNU going out there, speaking to people, knowing their problems, and coming with solutions for their problems. It came from us engaging qualified people with real doctorates and masters, and developing a proper manifesto. So you can be proud of the manifesto. I saw Barajak Deo. I think it's the most bare-faced piece of it I ever seen. And let it be the algebraic X. If you work it out, you know what it is. But I heard him saying, oh, I am fed up of GPL. Oh, we have a plan to change GPL. 5 years of blackout. And now you got a plan to change GPL. We inherited from them in 2015 a GPL that was half dead. Blackouts were the order of the day. And we put proper management at GPL. And by the time we left power in 2020, GPL was financing itself and blackouts had been considerably reduced. You removed the Jamaican man that we put there. You didn't care about competence. The first one you put was the dumb one you had before. And then you changed to a brother or some family of Nandlal who knows nothing about power, at least electrical power. And so it is you who put the failures there. You inherited a plan from us in which we were increasing generation capacity so that we do not have blackouts. And your solution, everything for them is a gangster story. Your solution is to bring a power shift. We were buying generators that belong to us that will modernize the system. You decide you renting power ships. It means you and your friend them who you're renting the power ship gonna make money off of we till we dead. We are going to change that. We need to modernize GPL. We need to put proper management there, and we need to have generational capacity which we own. So the persons who are responsible for the state of GPL name Orphan Ali and Barrett Jackdale. So don't come telling us now about what plans you have. There is nothing that you touch that would have succeeded. You promised us you are going to give us a Zeskinderen sugar factory that would have produced sugar and generate energy for electricity. Until now, no electricity. If it produces an ounce of sugar, we didn't see it. They waste billions of dollars. They told us, oh, we are going to give you a fiber optic cable and there will be connectivity. You will be in your house and you don't have to worry about internet. The only place it's connected somewhere is rare. Because until now, there can be no connectivity from the fiber optic cable. In fact, people pick it up and go on with it. This government is incompetent. If you bring Stevie Wonder to Guyana, he would see the incompetence. It is so glaring. This government is incompetent. They can't even build a proper road. Burnham built the Suicide Linden Highway in 1968. It lasted us for years. They're now damaging it. The level of EDOC you see there. When rainfall, accident because there's nowhere for the water to go. And when I tell them the man is not edgy, the man is at the edge. He should be pushed over the hill. This government is so discriminatory in nature that they recognize that poor people cannot afford to go and do law. So they decided they were giving no law scholarships. And then we came into power and give law scholarships. So a lot of poor people, children who couldn't afford to pay for law, became lawyers. They came back and removed those scholarships. Well, I'm saying to all and sundry in this country that the next APNU government will give scholarships to all of those students once they have the ability and the requisite certification so that they can become lawyers. And must understand what they're doing. Must understand what they're doing. If they deprive poor people, children, of becoming lawyers, by the same token, they are leaving villages without lawyers. So they can go in and do as they like. We believe that all Guyanese with the ability to pursue university studies must be permitted to do so. I mean, when you listen to these people, you wonder if they drop off of Mars. They put on a board, we deliver free university education. You know what I would say to that jackass talking? This country had free university education from 1976 to 1994. It is the PPP government that came to power and stopped free university education and put a fee on education. We continue to demand all the time that it be restored, and they restore it. And now they come in as if they deliver something to us. They deliver nothing. They are rectifying a wrong they did to the young people in this country. They deprive many young people of university education by doing that. And that is why I say to you, this is an elitist government. They believe in a few, their family, the friends, and the favorite benefiting, but the rest of the nation can punish. And they just don't care. So we're saying to you, we will give our young people access to education and training. All our young people that are competent and qualified should get that. May I also add that this country has a need for young people who might not have arrived at the university level, but they can do things with their hands. They have technical capabilities. We are saying to you, there will be a technical and vocational training program at the national level to ensure we utilize the young people who might not be academic, but have abilities. Academics are only one element of educational development. I have a master's in something, international relations. You think I could go and fix the car? If the car broke down, I left right there. And so we have to recognize in this world that there's a place for everyone. There is a place for a contribution to everyone, for everyone. And we will ensure those young people can contribute. In these elections, we are fighting for our freedom. If you are a 10-day worker, you got to frighten to say or do anything, because this government is so dictatorial. The minute you do something they don't like, they fire you. If you're a public servant, you can't go on Facebook. The next morning, you get in a letter telling you to go. So you need to recognize that you are fighting here for your freedom. When you vote on September 1, you are voting to return the freedoms that the People's Progressive Party took away from you. And we are guaranteeing that we will respect the rights and freedoms of the people of this country. We have to end this thing where the government believes it has the right to determine everything that people do. Jack Doe behaves as if Guyana is his cake shop. He open it when he like, he close it when he like, he sell when he like, he sell at what price he like. Well, let us tell you, Jack Doe, you failed to run the cake shop, and it is not your cake shop. This is the property of all the people of Guyana. And we want a government that will serve the people of Guyana. And that government is a partnership for national unity. They're telling the joint services, you know, these people got a special brain. It's only sad that it's special for the wrong things. You go to the Guyana Police Force, break all the rules and decide you're promoting whoever you want to promote. Now, they must recognize they are destroying a system. I hear one station got corporal, plenty sergeant, no constable. Not stupid, the backside stupid. We want people to get promotion. We want people who are entitled to promotion to get promotion. I want the police to know we bring in criminal charges against that idiot in the police force who broke the law, went in with his phone, took a picture to put up to show the PPP that he voted for them. When we can descend to that level, I mean, they are sensible policemen and women. It's unfortunate that he sold some of his senses, but it should not be condoned. And don't let us be fooled. The PPP did not agree for there to be no cell phones because they like democracy. They like freedom. They agree because they recognize Azruddin has the same amount of money like them, and he could buy vote like them, and so they decide, by we ain't taking chance. No phone. We glad. And I want to say this to you. We must be proud of ourselves. When we speak here tonight, we're speaking to the people of Mahaicony. When they speak, they got thousands of buses lined up because they're recircling the public to put it out there as if they got support. Every time they hold a meeting, even in their strongholds, when they don't fetch in people, you could count them on your hand. You know what that says? It says they are weak. It says that they will be beaten in these elections. Have no doubt, victory is near. We need to stay focused. We are going to beat the People's Progressive Party. We have to ensure we scrutinize these elections. Reduce the thieving, they must thief. But we must reduce it. And then I hear Jack Doe saying how he pointed out to me that if we make trouble, he can bring out the armed services. You're not going to be there to do that, Barrett. You have to go. We want Guyana to grow. And if Guyana is to grow, the PPP must go. They did enough wrong to this society. Which government with one modicum of decency will cover up the murder of an 11-year-old child? Only the PPP government. This wicked, demonic, crass government. We promise the people of Guyana, in coming to government, there will be a proper international investigation into the death of Adriana Young and even the Henry boys and others who they have murdered. And I can say this. The PPP has always been a murderous regime. Let us not worry with the 60s. Let us forget that. We had peace in this country from 1964 to 1992. The PPP came to power October 5th or 6th, 1992. And by Good Friday 1993, Monica Reese was thrown out the back of a vehicle. And they had to cover that murder. Ever since then, PPP government has constantly been characterized by the murder of innocent people. Who wants a government that does not value life? Who wants a government that will protect murderers? We want a government that will ensure there is law and order. We say to you, the APNU will ensure law and order and decency in this country. So all of those murders will be investigated. They're going around taking away people's land. Look how barefaced they were at Mocha. They said the road, the people were in the part of the road built nowhere next to the part of the people, where the people were. but they saw it as a right, a duty, a manifestation of their wicked intentions to go and take, what was the vehicle, the thing they used? An excavator. Took an excavator and broke down those houses while people are in there. Right now, they're going around on the quarantine, all around trying to take people lands. We're saying this to you. There will be a restitution commission, and anyone who would have lost land or anything under the PPP regime will get justice from the APNU. Those lands would be given back to the people of Mocha. It's not like if Guyana in that land is just covetous, the covetous. If every time you covet something, you used to choke, the PPP would have been a choking part. They would have can't talk. We have said that as a government, we are going to give a free house lot to every Guyanese 18 years and over who is working for $400,000 and less and does not own a house. You can take that to the bank. Why is it we can give foreign companies all kinds of concession, but we can't give our own people land free of cost? We commit to giving you lands free of cost. We are also committing to what we call our rent-to-own scheme, where we will build houses for the people. They pay a rent, live in it, and when that rent covers the cost of the house, it will be transferred to them. Because we believe that is the way to help poor people to get a house. We also intend to give mortgage and rent assistance, because there are a lot of people who are working, but they do not have the kind of resources to get a mortgage. So we will provide mortgage assistance. We will provide rent assistance. We believe in putting the people of Guyana first. We believe in putting money in the hands of the people of Guyana. We believe in empowering poor people. You know, they say don't smile. So I ask them, what is there to smile about? My work is not to smile. My work is to put a smile on the people of Guyana face. When we give them houses, when we give them the things they need, let them smile. And that will be a focus. They always commenting, we ride this line, down Bamba Mali. Well, I don't want the Pegasus and the Marriott to be involved in corrupt dealings. I am comfortable and happy being amongst ordinary people. There is sincerity and honesty that exudes on you when you are around ordinary people. In addition, you know their problems and you can solve them. I want to say to you, we are going to tackle the problems of the people of Guyana, particularly the small man, to ensure that they come out of poverty. Our whole focus is to take our people out of poverty and place them on a road to economic development. The Constitution of Guyana, the laws of Guyana, provide for 25% of all contracts to go to small contractors. This government doesn't abide by it. But let me tell you what we will do. We will train contractors across this country. We will train people and help them with the resources to be able to do contracts. If I give you a little contract and then I got to run to you people with machinery, me ain't got nothing to get. So it's a farce. We want to see genuine development. So we are going to train people in financial literacy, how to manage money. We will also train them to manage small businesses. And then we will facilitate them in small businesses so that the people can develop. That's all it takes. And so, my friends, I urge you to vote for the APNU. I urge you to put your X next to the palm, because that X is the critical act you will perform in a long time. We want to see a Guyana in which all people believe and feel they are part of Guyana. Not you talking about one Guyana, and one Guyana mean only y'all alone. We want one people with one nation, with one destiny. That is and that is what we will do. Pursue a society in which there is one people, one nation, and one destiny. So tell Irfan that Iwan Guyana is garbage. My friends, we have to win these elections. None of us could live with 5 more years of this regime. Just thinking about it is a nightmare without sleeping. And so we must do everything to get rid of this government. We must go out there and talk to everyone. On election day, we must go and bring out everybody to vote. Your vote matters. Some of you might believe your voting matter, but in a community called Kamaka, we lost the area by 1 vote. And so if you think your voting matter, you're making a mistake. We want to beat the People's Progressive Party. We believe that this country needs decent government. We believe that this country needs a proper government. And the only movement in these elections that can be considered proper is the APNU. I urge you to continue to support us. I urge you to work with everyone to ensure we get maximum turnout. If we increase our turnout by 5%, the PPP is beaten hands down. And so, let us work to win these elections. Let us do everything we can to ensure we succeed. Let us do everything we can to ensure Guyana grows. And that is why we say to you, and I say it in closing, and remember it, act on it. If Guyana is to grow, the PPP must go. Have a good evening, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
But all them do is give you pressure back. You take little thing, then you're stuck in line while them raise them glass and sip them wine. But real youth rise up and plan. Start with a vote and a vision, man. Don't sell out, own your voice. This election, make the right choice. Youth man, take note.